You guys are gonna need something for today's story. Part of me just kind of wants to do the whole video with these on. I think I look pretty cool. What do you think? Time for this little light to get shiny. I'm not gonna put them on the whole time. Hi guys. But I am going to need my sunglasses later because this story is all about this bright, blinding light that totally envelops Jesus, and then these two other figures show up and there's some disciples there and they freak out. It is a dramatic story. So make sure you have your sunglasses handy and let's get into today's story. The Transfiguration. Peter, James, and John were very excited. They were climbing a mountain with Jesus. Higher and higher they climbed, right to the top. Then they noticed something different about Jesus. Jesus' face and clothes were bright and shiny like the sun. Moses and the prophet Elijah were standing with Jesus, talking about God's promise to save the world. Peter couldn't believe his eyes. Suddenly, a cloud covered the mountain. A voice said, "This is my son. Listen to him." The voice was God. Peter, James, and John covered their faces. Then Jesus touched them. They peeked up. Everything was the same as it was before, even Jesus. On the way back down the mountain, Jesus, Peter, James, and John talked about God's promise, but they didn't tell anyone else what happened on the mountain for a long time. Okay, that was an awesome story. I'm gonna take my sunglasses off right now. Oh, I still can't quite see. There you are. Okay, let's talk about what this story was all about. John and James and Peter must have been really happy to get to go climb this crazy tall mountain. Actually, here's a picture of the mountain that we're talking about in this story. It's a big old mountain in the middle of a whole area of not a lot of other mountains, so this one really stands out. Well, I bet those three disciples were pretty excited to do this hike with Jesus, but also maybe wondering why they were doing it. Was something gonna happen? What was going on? And then they must have been a little bit scared when this cloud comes down and it covers everything. And so for that little second, they probably couldn't quite see each other, couldn't see Jesus, and then boom! This bright light shows up and they really cannot see anything. Jesus has been replaced with this shiny, shiny light, and then they see those two other figures of Moses and Elijah, and they start talking about what God has in store for humanity and what Jesus was going to go on to do for everyone. I bet those three disciples were probably both scared and amazed. You can be both things. Being amazed is an awesome feeling because you just get bowled over by how awesome what you've just seen is. But then they were probably scared because imagine you're suddenly covered in this crazy bright light. You can't see, right? We've heard this in other stories throughout this year about these crazy images where you kind of see God, but you mostly see a little bit of something else, but it's really overwhelming. It must have been pretty scary. And then this voice shows up, and this is a voice that without a doubt, they know that voice there, that's God. There's not even a question of who that voice is. And what does the voice say? It says, "This is my son. Listen to him." Now that "listen to him," that is a key phrase, but I want us to stop and think about how it could be different depending on which word we emphasize. Listen to him. There's three words in it. Listen to him. But what happens when we stress a different word every time we read that sentence? How does the meaning of the sentence change? Well, let's try it. Here's when we stress the first word. Listen to him. When we say it like that, how do you feel? To me, it makes me want to sit up and pay attention and really take in everything that's happening, right? The emphasis is all about listening. And that could be listening with your ears, but also listening with your heart. Listen to him. Now, what about if we stress the second word? Listen to him. That means you're ready to take it all in. You are focused on it. It's about the communication between you and Jesus. Listen to him. Don't listen at him, right? But take in what he's saying and just let it land and hit you. It's about how the information is going to stay with you. Listen to him. But what about if we stress the last word, the third word? Listen to him. Ooh, that one makes me feel kind of funny. That one gives me shivers a little bit. I want you to pause the video and talk about how this three-word sentence changes its meaning for you when you stress a different word. Listen to him. Listen to him. Listen to him. Friends, I think it's important that we do all three of those things. We listen to, and we listen to Him. Think about yourself as one of those disciples on the mountaintop. God's self, has just told you this really important thing. We don't know which word God emphasized when God spoke out of that cloud. So it's up to us to listen to all the different ways that that sentence could be heard and understood. That's why today's message is important. It's about all of the different things that Jesus is going to teach us. We gotta listen. We gotta listen to Him. We don't want to listen at, we want to listen to Him. And we want to listen to Him. When all this other crazy stuff in the world is trying to tell you, I'm what's important, I'm what's important, we need to say, hey, I know what's really important. What's really important is what Jesus would want me to listen to. Because I, first and foremost, listen to Him. I'll tell you something that doesn't always listen to me. Buddy doesn't always listen to me. You don't. Sometimes I tell you can't have any treats because he hasn't eaten his breakfast. That's one way you don't listen to me. He listens at me, but he doesn't listen to me. Friends, it's important that we remember this week that we need to listen, and we need to listen to Jesus, and we need to listen to Jesus. Are you going to listen to me this week? Oh, you are? We'll see how true that is. All right, friends, that's it for this week. Make sure you always have your shades handy so that you can listen really closely to that bright, shining, glorious Jesus up on the mountaintop. See you next week.